Coming through with the strength in you. Dun 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 dun. Coming through with the strength in you. Hey boo. Hey, coming through with the strength in you. What it do, what it do. Coming through with the strength in you. You made it. Good job. Strength in you. Coming through. Strength in you. Coming through. Hey boo. Hey boo. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Monday. It's my first time back with you since the other time, but I ain't gonna even talk about it right now. Let me get my queen in on the scene of the team. Let me get my boo.
Hey.
I like when you turn around like, hey.
Yeah, because I was gonna put on my lip gloss and I was like, wow, I'm live. How y'all doing? Hello, everybody on this Monday.
Them lips don't need no more pop, okay? Sugarfoot.
You got to embrace the good part of you.
I'm loving how you looking for Black History Month. I love because I'm always like the queen on the scene of the team. Look at you, girl, real quick. Hey, you cute with it. You see, I got my big K and I was like, I want something different. So don't be alarmed. I still got my locks. Thank you, boo. Thank y'all for tuning in on this Monday. Happy Monday. I hope your weekend was dope and you got everything you wanted and it was chill and all that goodness. Whew. How you doing though? How you feeling before we go into it? Because we're going to get a little bit of history going on because throughout this month, we're going to do a little learning because we learned what we learned in school, but we need to elevate ourselves on a whole nother level, all of us. So anyway, before we get into it, how you doing, sugar?
I'm good. I'm excited because I can't agree with that we need to learn more about our history.
Yeah. I'm excited because
I can't admit that I'm the one that needs some information.
Hold on, honey. You got to repeat that. I'm sorry because it was lagging, so I didn't really catch all of it. It was like choppy.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you. What you say? Just repeat
it.
Okay.
I say that I can admit that I am one that needs to learn more about my history, and we should learn more to be able to teach the next generation so we won't die.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Each one, reach one, teach one. That's the beginning of it all. Just got to start there. But I done went out because y'all know all last year they were showing those cards on Facebook, like Black History flashcards. You know what I did? Let me show you what I did. Bam. I got all 5 decks. I'm about to learn some history, honey. We gonna learn together. I probably gonna get through all 5 decks through the month because we got such a short time, and we're gonna even learn why we got such a short time. Like a lot of us complain about having February as Black History Month, not realizing why we have February as Black History Month. And I just did a little research. But before we go into the research, we're gonna do our word of the day because that's important. But before we even do that, listen, y'all know, first of all, I done had a stroke. So sometimes I got to talk backwards to know what I want to say. So let me just address the fact that our king of the team ain't here today because he had a little situation with the power. So that's why he's not here. But he may pop in on us. So we'll see what happens. Hope for the best. But our word of the day. So I had another word of the day initially, right? But because I have so much stuff going on and my cousin here, and I'm just like all over the place, I didn't do my job. Like straight up, I ain't gonna lie to you. So forgive me. But we do have a word of the day because I did find something. So let me get you there. And we're gonna get to this screen. We're about to learn this new word together. The word is, hold on, let me pull this word up. How we say this? What you think? Rata plan.
Rata plan.
What you think that means? Rata plan.
Rata pan.
Oh, rata pan. No, this plan. That's got an L in it.
It's something with a plan.
I think it's gonna have something to do with something sneaky because it got a rat and it's a plan. So it's something about a sneaky rat. It was something trying to dish you. We have to find out together what this word means. That's the beauty of the show. We get to learn together because we're a family. Like, what?
Mhm.
Way to do it. So let's do it. Right plan. Share. Bow. Up. Wait a minute. Disable that. I ain't mean to show y'all that. That's disrespectful. That wasn't just that. Go back to the main thing. You know what? I don't want to even share with y'all no more.
Yeah. See, it wasn't meant. It wasn't meant for us to know this word today.
Yes, it was. Look, I see it down there. Let me see if I can sneak the word. It say a drumming or a beating sound. Y'all see that? Can you see that?
Mm.
Oh, continue without disabling. I can read. Yay. Okay.
Rataplan.
Yeah, rider plan.
Rataplan.
Rider plan. See, we learned something new. Let's see. A drumming or beating sound. After halftime, we could hear the rider plan of a marching band before the entering of the field. The thunderstorm unleashed a rider plan of heavy rain that lasted hours. Let's see. I got one that goes with this. Let's see. Let me think. Let's think rider plan. I don't want to use that, but it'll be probably too real. I'm gonna say the cries of past ancestors write a plan in my ear for decades. Oh, was that a good one? Y'all gotta let us know. Was that a good one? Hold on, I'm supposed to stop sharing. I'm crazy as hell.
We're gonna come. I'm gonna have to think on that word.
Okay, it's beating of a drum or something like that. But is that my cards? And I said I was gonna talk about February. And now I don't know what you know, but tell me what you think. Why do you think they chose February to be our month for Black History? And who do you think chose it?
I have really no clue. I mean, it was, you hear people say because it's the shortest of the year, the shortest month of the year to celebrate Black history. And I would say we didn't choose it. I feel like maybe it was given to us, like July the 4th was given to us.
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. But I found out some news. And I'm going to show it and share it probably on the next episode just because, like I told y'all, unfortunately, I wasn't all the way prepared like I wanted to be. But I want to show you. But I'm going to spit out of my mouth what I learned by reading. And Carter G. Woodson, which is a Black man, actually chose February for us. He chose February in honor of two greats of his time that he felt was great, which was Abraham Lincoln and Frederick Douglass. Both their birthdays are in February. Lincoln is on the 12th, Douglass is on the 14th. So he called himself kind of commemorating them by choosing that month. And it didn't even start with us having a Black History Month. It started with just us having a week. And it all started from that one person who was Carter G. Woodson. Changed for us. Like, for us, it's not big, but that's because we don't make it big. Yeah, it's on the shortest month, but it has the greatest impact. And that's just my opinion of it because it's like we are kind of the foundation of the U.S. You know what I'm saying? And it's so much history in that little month that is like don't focus on how short it is. Focus on the greatness of the history in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, let me just get some things. I had took a few notes, y'all, so bear with me. And for all my listening viewers, I told you get better pleasure out of watching my craziness. But I thank you for listening. But this actually, Black History Month originated in the United States. Guess how long it's been around? We're in 2023 and Black History Month has only been around for 53 years.
Wow.
Can you imagine? Like, serious, 53 years. What's that? Let me see. We're going to do a little calculation here in the public so y'all can know we really calculating. 2023 minus 53 years. That's since 1970. That's when Black History has came around. Think about how many of our grandparents was way before then. So how much respect or history or acknowledgement or any of that, you know what I'm saying? Like,
well, they wasn't honored. And it's sad that we have to, I feel like we have to keep honoring them, but we lacking on our part too.
Yeah. Hold on, y'all.
Ooh, I got power.
Yay, bro. Welcome.
Like a half hour before the show, everything in the whole complex went out. Like all the power. And I was like, every time I'm gonna do a show, something happens.
Because it's trying to see how resilient you are, and you
But I'm here.
Yes. I love that.
What the hell is the word of the day?
Rataplan.
Rataplan.
What does that
it's
mean?
It's a beating of a drum. It's a loud sound. I ain't gonna go all the way back to you, but I'm gonna go back to it and just remember what I'm trying to say. No, but it really is a drumming or a beating sound.
Okay.
And I said, what did I say? I said something about the cries of my ancestors.
Is a rataplan in my ears.
Was a rataplan in my ears for decades. That was my sentence.
Yeah.
Because listen, we learning a lot about Black history right now. That's what the month gonna be about. Not every day or not every week, but we're gonna throw a little history in there every week because it's important. And like I was just telling Courage, we don't talk about like all the abundance of the history. We just talk about how short it is or who gave it to us and all that. We don't focus on the right parts of it. So we about to change.
Yeah, when I joined, I heard Courage talk about like it was the shortest month, and that and you mentioned that it was picked out by African American, and he was doing it because of Frederick Douglass and Abraham Lincoln. But I feel like in the grand scheme of things, too many people focus on it's the shortest month. That doesn't matter. It's literally like 2-3 days, really. And in the grand scheme of things, like that's all I hear about. It's like, it's the shortest month. I never hear about who picked the month or who.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you. Being Black, that was one of the main things. I literally just learned what I learned about it because I was like, we gotta learn more about our history.
Yeah.
And I was pissed off because I said the same. I've been saying the same exact thing. Why we get the shortest month? They just gave us that, and because I was just like Courage, I thought the same thing. But that ain't.
But it wasn't that I thought it. It's just that what you hear. The impact of your thought. But at the same time, it does like Wisdom was saying, it doesn't matter how long, it don't matter how much time you have. The question is we using it? Is we using this time to teach others? Is we using this time to educate ourselves as well? And that's a question I had to ask myself, and I can honestly say that no, I'm not. So I can't complain on the time they're giving me because you can't put time on what you want to educate yourself about.
Fact. But that's because that's something we was taught. But that's deep right there. What you just said though. But it makes sense to why we do it because we're taught to complain. A lot of people, not even just us, people do a lot of complaining, but don't do nothing about what they're complaining about. So it's easier, you know what I'm saying, than picking up a book or researching or whatever it was. Because had it not came for me wanting to do this part, I would have never researched it and known.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I would have still been every year. We got the shortest month of the year.
What's that saying? Ignorance is bliss.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's much easier, and we're all guilty of it, right? How many times have you read an article and just read the title of the article and took that for what it was? You didn't go and read the article. I've done it. I'm pretty sure you guys have done it.
Yeah.
And that's what needs to change. That's kind of why I like that we're doing this, because I didn't know that it was picked out because of Frederick Douglass and Abraham Lincoln. I have no idea. So, and I wouldn't have like made it my issue or my prerogative to make that extra effort and like learn about it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. And I think we all have done it. And that's, I think it's because, number one, most of us are angry because we know and we recognize that schools only teach us what they want us to know. So we never thought to go beyond that. You know what I'm saying? And it's like the things you're taught, just the things you're taught, and that's just it. But it's like, no, we grown now. We make a choice to either stick to what we know or go beyond what's taught. And that's where we are right now, trying to figure out when the hell did Black History Month even come from? That was my first question. Like, who decided this should be the month? And that's what I found. And I was like, whoa. And it kind of, I was like, what the heck?
Yeah.
And then when I tell y'all this is going to really blow your mind. And this is why my city needs to do better. Black History began in Chicago in 1915. With all this Chirac and murder, death, kill, pow, 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 was all about just trying to give you history and knowledge of your people and the things that they've done throughout this time. And look where we are in 2023. Like, you should be ashamed.
Like, yes.
Like, real talk. It's so like, but it's neither here nor there. The fact is, we got it now. So we're going to do what we can with it and make it better. Because that's what growth looks like. And change is the only thing that's constant. So we're just going to do what's necessary. But another thing I learned, y'all, hold on. They used to go, the way that this thing was even brought about was because they used to, thousands of Black people used to go to Washington, D.C. This me over here scratching my arm, FYI.
I was like, what are you doing?
I was scratching my arm.
I was like, what the hell is she doing?
But they used to go to Washington, D.C. just to go see exhibits of Black folks in the history. And it was all in a Republican Coliseum. So they had to go stand outside for hours. So this whole thing lasted for like 3 weeks because they wouldn't let all the Black folks in at once. So they had to slowly go in there and look at all these different exhibits and find out about their people and their history. And that's what made them, not even them, it was Carter G. Woodson who wanted this thing. It started as a week that turned into a journal that was like, well, we want a little bit more. And he went with the month. So that says to me, if we want more, as Wisdom said, educate, do more. We got to get out there and not just protest when somebody died or when it's convenient or when you want something like financial or something. We want this benefit. We want knowledge because we want to be able to pass it on down to the generations to come. So that's why this episode is like extremely important for me.
Yeah. I watched, I know this is like totally separate, but I watched the new Wakanda movie, Black Panther. And I don't know if it's because it's February and it's Black History Month, but I highly recommend that people watch that movie. Not only for the African tributes and the lessons you learned in that movie, but that's the problem right there. Like black people, it's like pulling teeth to support other black people. Like it's directed by a black director. It's pretty much an all black cast, and everybody came out in droves for the first one.
Yeah.
And this one, it's like hit or miss. And I think honestly, like the tribute they did to Chadwick Boseman was really good. And I think more people should like perfect example, Lizzo. When they're great, she's great, right? Nothing against her. But like all her audience is white people. Like think about it. Black people are too worried about like the music now by black girls is all shaking their ass and talk about pussy popping and like who cares about that? Let's have like Lizzo where she's talking about good energy, good vibes, empowerment. Nobody cares about that.
That's true. It's not enough of that, but that's kind of why I love India Arie, and that's why I always talk about her music and stuff like that, because it's always nurturing to the spirit. It's something that you're getting from it. It's not just words to some music and saying, you know what I'm saying? Like it means something.
Yeah.
It's really I look at most of the girls today, and some of the music I listen to. But then when you think back to your ancestors and you be like, this is not what they wanted us to represent ourselves as. This is not what they fought for us to be honoring, to be out there half dressed, to be out there making men look at something that's not inside of us.
Yeah.
Our treasure is deep, it's inside of us, deep inside. It's not on the outside. And the right person with the right key will be able to open that up and see your natural beauty.
Right.
They didn't have the lace front weaves. They didn't have the makeup. When a man was attracted to you, he was attracted to you as your natural self.
True. But that's because we live in a society now where everybody is like, you gotta look like this. And from when you little, you always like, that pretty little girl, she's beautiful. And you don't hear people saying to little boys, oh, they're handsome little boy. They don't talk to little boys the same way they talk to little girls. So it creates this stigma that I gotta always be like this Barbie, pretty, perfect, because this is what's been told to me, and I'm just a pretty girl. Not you get a beautiful brain, but you're a pretty girl. You know what I'm saying? Even from the beginning. And that was the first flaw. Instead of teaching us the beauty of the brain, they taught us what pretty was. This is irrelevant because at the end of the day, we all get old. So this ain't gonna last. You know what I'm saying? So this was the most important part that we was lacking, and we're still lacking because we're so overly focused on everything that has no purpose or point for our lives. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's mind-boggling that we be screaming respect, respect, respect. But where's the respect with one another? You know what I'm saying? And not even just in the African American or Black, have you see yourself, not just that culture, but with people. If we just focus on people and the heart of people, that's always going to go back to that, because that's really all it is. But Black History Month didn't come from that. It came from pain. It came from trauma. It came from sacrifice. But we have a beautiful history of building, and that's the part that I want to build on. And that's why I got my cards ready. Because I want to talk about some people. But before I talk about some people, do either one of y'all want to say anything else about history?
No, I said what I want to say. I'm interested to learn.
Okay, because that's really what this episode is, y'all. So get ready to learn on this episode. You ready, Miss Courage? Or you got something you want to say?
Oh, no. Yes, ma'am. I'm ready.
Okay, y'all get ready. Oh, and FYI, y'all know I don't pronounce nothing well. So if I throw it in the camera and be like, Wisdom, because he be good with pronouncing stuff, because he be taking his time. I think I talked too
I
fast.
don't pronounce it well neither. Just
Okay, so can y'all see this person?
Yeah, zombie dos palmeres. Oh, palmeres. Zombie dos palmeres.
Okay, all right.
Why?
that sound like it. That
Just
little
sound it
Spanish
out.
word coming in at the end.
What you said, Courage?
I said first it sounded like a little Spanish name at the end.
Right. I didn't really look at the name. I said, did y'all see the face? That's really what I wanted y'all to see. But
yeah,
I was gonna look and try to figure this out. You say Zumbi dos Palmeras. Yeah, that's how it go. Something like
yeah.
that.
I think it is Spanish. The last name.
That tells you how we is. Though we are everywhere. We one and the same. Ain't no black, white. We people. Anywho, he's from 1655 to November 1695. He was a principal representative of black.
Wait, what? What?
It said, I don't know why I had two dates like that, but I'm gonna go with this one that makes sense. November 20th, 1695.
Okay.
Principal representative, I'm gonna keep showing his face. Principal representative of black Brazilians of slavery during the period of the colonial Brazil. That's why his name is Spanish, Brazil. The leader of, oh Lord, I'm about to destroy this. Quilombos dos Palmeiras, a free community of slaves. In 1675, he helped defend those same people against Portuguese slaves, known as the Great Warrior. He replaced Ganga Zumba and Palmeiras and commanded the Brazilians against Portuguese army in 1680. And then in 1695, he was betrayed and denounced and beheaded. Oh, beheaded, my bad, by former companion at the age of 40. So I'm not really sure. Oh, wait, here it is. I guess he's in here because he is known as the Black Consciousness Day or Black Awareness Day. So that's a Brazilian national holiday. So for our brothers and sisters in Brazil, this is your best friend. He's one of you. Yeah, that's pretty cool, actually. We come in all kinds of forms, and that is beautiful because I always say that. We don't know. So y'all know about the Moors?
Who?
No, who's the Moors?
No.
The Moors is 711 AD to 1492 AD. This is the photo of the Moors. I encourage all of my listening viewers to just really watch this on YouTube so you can really learn some knowledge. These are Muslim inhabitants of northern Africa, Libyan Peninsula, Sicily, and occupied Mazzara on Sicily developed port in 1827. This is an intellectual achievement of the Moors in Spain, and it had lasting effects. When Europe had 2 universities, the Moors had 17. Okay. Held extensive knowledge on irrigation and cultivation of the crops. And during the 10th century, Cambodia, not just the capital of Al-Andalus, but also once one of the most important cities in the world. It had street lighting, 50 hospitals with running water, 30 public bathrooms, and 70 libraries. So I'm not sure, guys. That's something we're learning. So that's something for us to research and talk about maybe on the next one. The Moors. The Moors, Moors, not Mores, but Moors. Wow. I'm already like, that's too much. I done learned already. Okay. Okay, this is one name person. And these are regular dates. His name is Huey P. Newton, PhD. He's a political political activist and revolutionary. He co-founded the Black Panther Party for self-defense in 1966. He overcame illiteracy and attended Merritt College and the University of San Francisco Law. And in 1980, he earned his PhD in social philosophy from the University of California in Santa Cruz. He's allied for freedom, full employment, decent housing, education, and military exemption for African Americans. Sponsored a free breakfast program for children, sickle cell anemia tests, free food and shoes, and a school. And then he was shot and killed in Oakland, in California, in 1989. Well, this man was obviously great. His name is Huey P. Newton, PhD. He is proof that even through illiteracy, you can overcome anything if you really want it bad enough. If they said this man overcame illiteracy, then he went to college, then he went to a university for law, then he got a PhD. That's amazing. This man overcame illiteracy, then he went to college, then he went to a university.
No, I was just checking to see if we were actually live because we didn't get any comments.
Because they probably learning and watching. I see some people watching though. It's all good.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, no, y'all. So this is a person to know. Huey P. Newton, PhD. Don't forget him. He is proof that ain't nothing that you can't overcome. You just gotta want it bad enough to do it. And unfortunately, just like all the greats, he was killed and murdered. And this is why we gotta do better, because with knowledge is power. And hopefully we'll do greater things with learning. Here's another one. Everybody knows him. Let's see what we know about him though, because I don't know everything. James Baldwin, y'all.
I don't know who that is.
James Baldwin is a novelist. He's an essayist, a playwright, a poet, and an African-American social critic. Explored tolerable yet unspoken intrinsicy of racial, sexual, and class distinction in Western society, most notably in the mid-20th century in America. Fictionalized fundamental personal questions and dilemmas amid complex social and psychological pressures throughout the equitable integration not only of Black people but also of gay and bisexual men, while depicting some internalized obstacles for individuals' quest for acceptance. That was a whole long thing. Now let me really look at that. While y'all look at this person, he became a spoken man of the civil rights movement in 1963. But no, I got to know what that meant, because that was a lot that I just read. And I messed it up a couple times, so I wanted to make sure I understood what this person stood for. And it seems like he basically stood for equality for gay and bisexual men. And just and everybody being accepted and appreciated for their individualism. He published a long essay, The Fire Next Time, in which he predicted the outburst of Black anger to come. He became a spokesman of the civil rights movement in 1963. So that's who James Baldwin is. Basically, he's a man for equal rights. He's somebody who just cared about civil rights and wanted everybody to be treated as people and not as slaves or anything else, just good people. So that's cool. I don't want to feel like I'm reading it y'all the whole time.
No. What I was gonna say, where did you get those cards?
I ordered them offline.
Okay.
I got the whole 5 editions because I told myself I was gonna not only educate myself but educate my kids, because again, we all only learn what they teach us. And to be fair, they can't teach us all this history in such that short time in school. So I get they picked out certain things that goes in school books and certain things like that. It makes sense. So I ain't going to even complain about that no more. I'm just going to do my part to make sure I educate those around me. When you know better, you do better. So
yeah,
it is. Okay.
Maybe they'll have one.
I got one for you. Now, y'all both about to know this one. Nina Simone. Who's that?
Well, I heard the name.
Me too.
That's fair. That's good enough. What about you, Miss Courage?
Yeah, I heard the name.
She is a dope singer. She's a dope
Is that what she was, a singer?
Yeah, but she's many more things that I'm about to learn about on here. She's a singer, a songwriter, a pianist, an arranger, and a civil rights activist. She's cute. You know what, boo? Always include.
What do you want me to do?
I can't take him.
She look regular. She look regular. She's
I didn't
not
say
like
she was fine. I said she's cute.
And that's
You.
What do you want me to do?
I hate it here. Oh wow. She was alive for a very long time, y'all.
How old? Well, how long?
I don't know the whole years because I didn't count, but she was born February 21st, 1933, and she passed away April 21st, 2023. I mean, 2003. Thank you. Sorry. He was
I was like, damn, 2023, she just died.
It ain't even April yet.
19 what?
No, what? When she was born and when she passed?
Yeah, when she was born.
When she was born was 1933. And she passed away in 2003.
70.
That's a pretty good life there, considering all the stuff they had to endure, man.
I'll take it. 70 is like a solid life.
Yeah, she dope. She received a Grammy at the Hall of Fame in 2000 for her interpretation of "I Will Love You," Porgy. I will love you, Porgy.
Why you say it like that? I will love you, Porgy.
It felt good and right.
It feels like some white person's dog. Come here, Porgy.
Right. No, but she openly addressed the radical equality prevalent in the United States. Strong Mississippi, goddamn. I mean, wait, no. It do say got him. Put that together. Got him. G-O-D-D.
Got him.
Hey, it's Goddam. I was like, yeah,
damn. They don't give a fuck.
See, look at him. In 1964. Oh, this song was called for radical relations to change and more immediate development. So she did a lot of those stuff. She was an advocate with the Dr. Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. You know, she was about that nonviolent situation. Yeah, so Nina Simone, she was about that life and left us with some dope music. So if you want to learn about Nina Simone, go and check her out on YouTube.
Yo, I know her from I think a Kanye West line. To be honest with you.
You know the line?
No.
You made me bite my lip.
But I think he mentions like Nina Simone in a song from one of his earlier albums. Like it's coming to, I don't know why that's like coming to my mind, but it is.
Oh, I don't know because I don't listen to so much of Kanye no more because he a little crazy. I love you, Kanye. Black History, yay. But I'm going to pray for you, boo, because something ain't been right.
Well,
conversation.
This is his like older stuff. Like when he was like in the college dropout days, when Kanye was Kanye, and then before he went crazy. I think when he did that whole thing with Taylor Swift, is when he changed.
Yeah.
Because like up until that point, he was like golden. Like nobody had a bad thing to say about Kanye until he interrupted Taylor Swift. He's like, Beyonce had the best album of all time.
Right.
I was
And
like,
everybody
"Oh
said,
my God."
"Hey, go to sleep." Really? But I'm curious to my watchers and my listeners, give us your feedback, what you know about the Black history. You tell us about some greats that you want to explore and talk about and share, because we want to put you on blast. And before I keep sharing the history of the people, let me share a little history of myself. Not myself, but who I want to put on blast. And for Black History Month, I just want to elevate my dad and put him on blast a little bit, because he is not only a stroke survivor, but he is a survivor of all the narcotics he was involved in, or the drugs, alcohol, cigarettes, like all that. He's been clean and sober, I believe now 17 years.
Wow.
So that's amazing. Like, I'm proud of him. So I just want to throw that out there. Hey, boo. What's
What
up,
up,
baby?
David?
How you doing, sugar? Who you want to throw out there? You got anybody you want to talk about? And our word of the day is rider playing, y'all. We're going to talk about that word again. What I said was a loud drumming sound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like that. Yeah, good job. Okay. But also I wanted to know
Thanks, Mrs. Turner.
Miss Courage, do you want to blast anybody for the History Month?
I would say I'm gonna say my mother and the ladies that's in my family. I come from a generation of women's doing it all.
Okay.
And
Okay.
so yeah, so it's like that's where the strength and the courage and the go getter is all from women's in my family, because I come from generations of hard working women that held up the whole household by themselves, raised their kids by themselves. So that's who I would like to acknowledge.
Okay. We salute them. Salute to the queens of the family.
Yes.
I want to put a salute out there to all my people of color, whether you're African American or not, because we all went through some type of struggle with all of that. So I just want to shout all of y'all out, because all of us is one and the same. We share pigmentation. That means your ass black too.
I always tell people, like, if I was in Africa, right, when they were like colonizing and putting everybody on slave ships, I'm not gonna be there and be like, oh, I'm good, I'm Puerto Rican. They'll be like, get your ass on that fucking boat.
But that's a fact. So I just
No,
want
I'm
to
not good. You know.
Well, I was a little confused at the beginning. I was like, he's black, but why is his last name Hernandez? I thought you were black, Julia. I'm sorry.
For real? God damn it. It happens all the time. Like, people think I'm black all the time.
Yeah, and then I was like, he's not black. I was like, what? Oh, well, that's what Hernandez.
Yeah, had it not been for that Hernandez, I would have thought his ass was black too.
I know. Junior Johnson.
Right.
In the building.
But to be fair, not even being funny, Hispanic people name their kids Junior. It's not a lot of black kids. I don't think you mean Jerome's and shit with us.
Yeah.
But juniors with the Hispanics.
At least my mom didn't call me Juan or Carlos,
Facts.
Or Jose. Oh my God, Jose.
Like, this is proof that there's a little, I want to say racism. What's the word? Is it bias? Is that what the word is? No, that's not the word. I guess it is a little racism, because we talking about how you'll get a Jerome with black folks and you'll get a Junior with Hispanic.
I mean, you don't get a Jerome in Spanish culture. Like, I've never met a Puerto Rican named Jerome.
Yeah, I've never met a black Hector.
Yeah. But I have met a black Javier.
I haven't.
We both found.
Why are you stopping? Like,
We both like, no.
I have.
That's fair. I think that, ooh, in honor of Black History Month, hey, y'all should tune in and give us some Black names. Tell us all these names that's Black. Give us all old Black names and young Black names. And they could be male or female. You check it out, Junior.
An old Black name for Black people is like Theodore.
No, never. I've never met a
Oh, Francis.
Okay, that's fair. I know Black. Well, she ain't old, but yeah, she older than me. So that bitch, I would. She old. That's my sister.
I know. You called her a B word.
I swear I did.
She's gonna be mad.
No, she not. She called me one all the time. That's why I said,
yo, Francis, that was her. That was her.
Old Black name. Lucy.
Mary. Oh.
May Pearl.
Oh.
Did you say what?
Nothing. Anime.
Anime book?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yo, I love Courageous Laugh. I swear to God.
She so cute.
I know.
She's
you
like
want to grab her cheeks.
She's like Cabbage Patch, but I can't say that because apparently I look like a Cabbage Patch too. So just
with that hair, you do.
Anyway,
I hold on. All jokes aside, I just want to give up some props to my beautiful queens, my ebony queens up here, Courage and Woe. There we go. You guys brought me into this show, and I look forward every week to doing a show with you guys. So shout out to my ebony queens, Courage and Strength. Jesus Christ, I have too much saliva.
We appreciate it. That's okay. That's okay. We all got. You see, I got my tissue right here just in case when I started talking real fast.
Yeah. Like Jesus Christ, I'm thirsty for real.
How you gonna be drooling and be thirsty? How that work?
Stroke.
That's how you can tell when a stroke survivor is hungry.
I
am pretty hungry. When I finish your show, I'm gonna eat a salad.
Good job. That's a good thing to eat. Let me get back into okay. While y'all thinking some old names, because that segment is kind of fun. Let's think of old Black names.
But one of the things you asked is, what do we haven't addressed it, but it was in the thing. What do we think when we think of Black history? What does it represent, and how do it affect us as we go into a new year to set goals within ourselves?
Well, that's huge. Them a lot of questions to answer, but okay. You know, we stroke survivors ask us one thing at a time. No, I think I got it. But originally, I know that Black History Month was created for us to get literature and learn the history of our people. That's literally what it was about, for us to learn what all they went through and had to endure to get us where we are right now. So I vow to not just learn Black history during the month of February. I vow to constantly elevate my knowledge of my history, because that's what it is. And I vow to pass it down to not only my kids, but to everybody who I meet who is open to getting the knowledge from me about my history, because it's important for me to know where I come from, so I'll know how much further I can go, because it strengthens me to know the power that resides in my blood because of my ancestors.
Okay.
I think I answered all your questions, did I?
Oh, well, courage. What do you think?
Okay, well, I stated before that I never really just thought about it, and when I read the show, I kind of been thinking about it for like 2 days, and I would think of resurface, recertification, refuel, because this is the month where we go through so much that we lose. You know, I'm putting it to you like this: we go through so much that we lose stuff within ourselves. And that if you go back into your history, if we go back into our history, that we see them with no fear. They didn't lose faith. They didn't lose courage. They didn't lose strength. And if we go back and recertify, re-educate ourselves, then that helps us within to gain what we think we lost.
Right. I feel that 100%. I'm with that. I know for me, that was really big though, courage. Girl, you smart sometimes. No, that was huge though, for real. I'm proud of you. That was good. That was good. You got anything to say, Wisdom? Because technically you're a part of Black history, as you can claim
Yeah,
with all those people I just named.
I didn't like really understand like race growing up because I grew up in Brooklyn, right? And I was surrounded by Asians, Mexicans, Italians. I was surrounded by everybody. So there was none of that. Like, differences between Black people or whatever. Like, that wasn't a thing. Until I moved down south. And then I realized, like, there is a difference, And I remember the first time I was living in Louisiana, and this guy called me boy, and I was like, the way he said it, it didn't feel right, it didn't connect right, and I was like, what does he mean by that? That was like the first time, like I ever experienced like somebody treating you different because of the color of your skin, like that was never a thing. So, I just want to bring more awareness. I think more knowledge and more awareness to these topics ultimately is us moving in the right direction. But there's watch the 16. It's there you go. Watch the 1619 project on the Hulu. It's an excellent story on Black history.
Thank you, Jerry. We appreciate that.
Appreciate that. Yeah, so I think it's vital that we continue the education on Black history and stop using it as a reason to complain, right? Like, I think if everybody read a little something, or everybody went out their way to like do what you did with the index cards, the world would be a better place. So just continue the education. Hello, Judith. And continue the education and continue doing the right thing. If you see an injustice, say something, right? Like help your other man. Like, we're all in this together. No one's better than anyone else, So go out and reach out or help somebody. You never know what people are going through, and that might make the difference between somebody having a great day and somebody having a bad day.
Right. Yeah. Absolute facts. But I will say it ain't just for us to keep doing our history, because like I said, and as you said, we're in this together. So that means not only did I go by these Black history cards, people like Wisdom and all of my Caucasian brothers and sisters, y'all can get knowledge too about this stuff. It's not just on one people to learn about their culture. We all need to learn and educate ourselves. So let's make this thing happen. But I'm gonna name one more person for y'all because we got a good 5 more minutes on this joint. So I got one more person for you, and this is Bessie Coleman. I'm not sure fully I heard the name, so we about to learn together. Bessie Coleman was born January 26, 1892, and died April 30th, 1926.
Oh, she have a long life.
She was an American civil aviator known as Queen Bess. First woman of African American and Native American descent to hold a pilot license. In 1921, she received her international pilot license in France because no flight school in America would train a colored woman. And before I even finish reading that, I just want to point out that this card even said, no school in America. It's America, y'all. As Americans, it don't matter the color. Americans, we need to come together and we got to fight for each other. Like, it shouldn't be one color out there fighting for stuff. We all need to unify and be fighting for it. Shouldn't nobody have to go to another country to try to learn something to better themselves? That's the craziest. And this is in 1921. And we still here in 2023. People are going to other countries to learn stuff that they don't want us to know here. That's telling you something. So, anywho, let me continue. Her goals were to explore her people to the world of her goals were to expose her people to the world of aviation. She desired to speak to audiences, children, to inspire them to get involved in the flight industry. And in 1926, she fell to her death while practicing for one of her famous stunt shows. Evidence later indicated that her plane may have been tampered with. And then she was inducted to the Aviation Hall of Fame in 2006.
I was in 2026. She's in the future.
But this is another. This is crazy. Okay. Do you see how many people doing great things? This lady plane was tampered with because they knew she did stunts. So you intentionally did something to her plane because she was colored. Why in 2023 are we still having colorism issues? Like, let's lift up these people. Bessie Coleman and let me get them right. Zumbi dos Palmares. See, that's Spanish. I'm black as hell. Leave me alone.
We have to uplift each other, educate. I'm not gonna.
Okay, help me one more time. Let's do it. One more again, y'all. We got
dos. Meres. Your courage is close.
What?
I said courage was very close.
You have to roll the R.
Y'all see how we do this thing. We're going to roll the R. We're going to learn some more about the Moors at another time. We got Huey P. Newton, PhD. This man was illiterate, but went on to school and found him a PhD. Nothing you can't do. We got young James Baldwin, who've done all kinds of writing and playwriting and all kinds of things. And then who we got right
Nina
here?
Simone.
That's our singer-songwriter. And then Bessie
Coleman.
Known as Queen Bess. She plugging it. No. But no, they were amazing people. And that's just a few. We learned so much history about these few people. And that's just, look what happened to them. But we just got to go for it and keep going and never giving in to giving up on ourselves and just really come together as a unified community, not black, white, Hispanic. None of that don't matter because we all do the same things internally and externally, if that makes sense. So I love y'all. I appreciate you for watching. And again, subscribe, click that bell so you can get the notifications. We encourage y'all to come and watch us on YouTube instead so you can get all of us in raw form. And it was something else I was supposed to say, but I had a stroke brain real quick. Do you guys have anything you want to say while I try to
remember? Just stay strong and stay positive. I love y'all.
Eric.
Whenever you feel like that you're losing yourself or you feel like you can't go on, just go back to your history.
I love that. There's power in your history. Put your crown on, guys. I appreciate you for tuning in this week. Put that lantern inside that crown. Let that light, you see that light right there behind my head, let it radiate all over your body. Everything negative bouncing back. You only accepting positive energy. Only we love you. You are loved by the best. Never give in to giving up on you. Until next week, my dears, tune in.